Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome, and I am so glad you clicked on this video. I am so excited today. I'm going to be doing a tag video that was started by my aunt, BeauTK Unfiltered. I will be sure to link her video down below, but the whole tag is based on this meme right here. So when she and I saw this meme, we were cracking up. And of course this meme did not age well, right? Because nobody cares about like Clinique and MAC anymore as much as they used to. But it got us thinking, like, what was the stuff in our collection that we had now that if our significant other broke it, we would be like, rings off, let's get some papers, I'm getting out of here, I'm divorcing you. So I pulled some stuff out of my collection that I was like, if this stuff was destroyed in my collection, I would have a really, really, really hard time forgiving you. And probably I wouldn't. There's certainly a lot of stuff in my collection that if it was damaged or destroyed, I'd be like, okay, you can replace that and then I'll forgive you, you know. But there's a lot of stuff in my collection that would be really hard to replace. So that's the kind of stuff that I pulled in for this video. Otherwise, I'd just be showing you like my entire makeup collection. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So, my gosh, where do I want to start? Okay, let's start here. So, one thing that I would definitely be really upset if I lost or was destroyed would be my Lunar Beauty collection. So, I'll show you the different things that I have here. First would be the Moonspell palette, and most of these things would be, number one, because I like the color stories so much, but then also because these would be really hard, if not impossible, to replace. I don't think Moonspell is even stocked anymore, but it's such a beautiful color story. You have these like grungy greens, purples, a couple of neutrals. I think they work really nicely together. Then you have, this is Eternal Eclipse, and again, it's cool toned, it's got some blues, it's got a really stunning silver in this one. So that would be one that I'd be really, really bummed to lose out on. The Strawberry Dreams palette is this gorgeous like pinky colored story, and you've got these beautiful like wine tones up here that I really like. These blues are stunning, and then this shade down here is an iridescent like blue flecked glitter, and well, it's not a glitter because I don't use glitters, but it is amazing and I really like that. And so if I lost this palette, which I was honestly never even supposed to have this palette because it came to me as an accident from Lunar Beauty and they let me keep it. Yeah, I'd be so sad if I lost this because I really enjoy that palette too. And then the last one would be the blush palette, because this blush palette, number one, this packaging, like, shut up and take my money. But number two, the blushes are really, really pretty, and I think they work really nicely with my skin tone. I can almost even get away with this one as a bronzer. I love this. I love this so much. And if I lost those things and I was not able to get a replacement, I would be mad. Alright, the next one, this one I probably could get a replacement for if I really wanted to, if it was damaged or destroyed, and it's really not super expensive, but the shipping and everything from Beauty Bay is such a freaking process, so I put this in here anyway. And this is the Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette, and it looks like this. It's got this beautiful purpley blue and then like almost some like teal minty shades. It's such a pretty color story. The metallics pop out of this world. I think the color story is what draws me so much into this palette, and I think if I lost it, I'd be really disappointed. Alright, the next one will come as no surprise to you guys, and it is the BH Pistachio palette. This palette is so pretty. The greens in this palette are so rich and so vibrant. The mattes especially, like, they go really bright to really deep. And then this shade here, I don't think I've ever found a shade quite like this. It's like a green leaning, or like an olive toned leaning shimmery taupey gold. And it's so pretty on the lid. It's so pretty as an inner corner. I've not found a single shade like this in my collection, and this palette was such a monster to try to find. Whenever it first came out, I was like, this is going to be a rockstar palette, and I bought it on launch day. No regrets. But I know my aunt has been trying to get it ever since, and it has been quite the struggle. So my recommendation, or my frustration, would be if this palette were damaged or destroyed, I would not be able to get it back. And I'd be really mad. So that is why this one makes the list. Can you tell it's a lot of eyeshadow palettes? It's a lot of eyeshadow palettes. All right, let's talk about some other kind of like special things here in my collection. The Tribe palette by JUVIAS Place. I haven't actually played with this palette yet, but it's one that I knew I needed. I did play around with this in the store, like swatching everything, and this color is so interesting. It's like a gold, but it has just like a little bit of like a greenish kind of tint to it. I think these like grungy greens are really pretty. You've got some really nice like almost neon leaning mattes. So I think you could do a lot of really cool stuff with this palette. I am looking forward to putting together a look with this palette for my St. Patrick's Day week of green eyeshadow that will be coming up soon. So you will see a look doing something with this palette, but I think I would be really sad if I didn't have this palette. It was one I had to kind of like wait around for it to show up on JUVIAS Place website so that I could purchase it. So that's why this one makes the list. The next one, and this is a super controversial one, but it's the Nomad Shanghai palette. And the reason why is because, you know, through the whole like launch process, the palette got, you know, kind of some negative feedback originally, and it was ultimately pulled. But I thought this color story was so pretty. It's got some rainbow tones. It's got some like cooler toned mattes here. You've got a lot you can work with. You've got a white and a black. I think this color story, it gives you the best of both worlds, half neutral, half rainbow, and I think it's a really good quality formula. Nomad Cosmetics, I really like their formula. It's one of my favorites, and so I would be really disappointed not to have this palette, on top of which the packaging is stunning. I was lucky enough to be able to visit China when I was in high school, which was like 1,000 years ago, and so this kind of like harkens me back to that, even though this has nothing to do with the places that I went when I was in China. It gives me kind of that like connection to that memory, and I think that's why for me this feels like such a positive release, even though I know for other people it does not feel like such a positive release. So I would be really disappointed if I did not also have this palette in my collection. And of course it could not be replaced if it had to be. The next one, I think this goes without saying, is the Club Nebula palette. Now this palette is so pretty. It's got these nice grungy deep mattes. It's got some really interesting like duochrome, multi-chrome, shimmery kind of shades to it. You've got some really pretty cool toned mattes here in the center. I am going to be posting a video, if it's not already up, it may already be up. Yeah, I think it's already up. A video talking about dupes for these colors within my own collection. So if you missed out on this palette, or you know, you think that the price is just more than what you're able to spend right now, definitely check that out, because it might give you some ideas as to things that are in your own collection that could potentially dupe some of the vibes of this one if you're not able to or ready to make a purchase for this one. But if you do, in the spring restock, which I think they're doing at least one more restock, I definitely think it's worth the money. This is a stunning palette, and because it's been so difficult to get a hold of, if this were destroyed or lost in my collection, I would be heartbroken. Alright, much along the same lines is the It's Freaking Bats palette from Shroud and Bean. This collab was way highly anticipated. It was something that even the brand and Bean did not consider. So the back order for this, or the backlog of orders to get processed, was ridiculous. I ordered this on launch day, but not in the initial launch. I ordered it once they opened it up for the stock, and it took me until January to get it. So they had a huge outpouring of support for this palette, which is awesome. But this is what this palette looks like, and it's so pretty. You've got like some, you know, kind of grungy greens. You've got this really cool like almost aqua teal to purple duochrome. You've got a golden purple duochrome. You've got these really pretty mattes. This whole palette is so good. And if I lost this, which I thought I did at one point, I even was trying to film a video, my favorites or palette ranking, I think, for the month of January, I was filming and I couldn't find this, and I like ripped my whole house apart until I finally found it in my palette drawer. Like, why I didn't look there first, I can't tell you. But this palette is so nice, and I would be heartbroken if this one got destroyed or damaged or taken. Alright, and one more palette to kind of round things out, and then we're going to talk about kind of some pops, if you will. This is the It's Belle Cosmetics Break the Rules palette. And this palette is just a palette of pops of color. These are like either shades that you can do a single eye look with, like a one and done, or you can kind of put this on the lid as just like your pop of interest in the center of a look. I have used pretty much every single one of these in a look at some point and been really happy with them. I think these colors are gorgeous. The formula texture is so like buttery and smooth. I really, really enjoy this. This palette is on like a super rolling pre-order now because of the demand being so high for it. So I think it would be very challenging to get another palette for this one. So if it got lost or destroyed, I'd be pretty sad. The next one to talk about is my Pastel Roses UK collection, and I will show it to you kind of like this so it doesn't fall out. And I do have, these are actually from Midas Cosmetics. That's a gold flake topper that I use. But these are all pigments and different formulations from Pastel Roses UK. I do have a video on my channel swatching all of these out, so if you're interested in checking that out, definitely do. And there is a promo code in the info box of that. It's not an affiliate code. I don't make any money off that code. I don't know if the code even still works, but if it does, save yourself some money. But these pigments are really, really nice. They do come from a London or UK based indie makeup brand, and so to replace these would be very expensive, costly, and time consuming. And so that's why I've chosen to put them in there, because these just add like the coolest pops to your look. Anytime I wear these, I get compliments by people, you know, at my job or at the grocery store, wherever. So these really, I feel like they add something special to my collection. Okay. The next one to talk about would be my JD Glow collection, and this is my single shadows from JD Glow. These are so, so pretty. Pretty much every time I wear them, I do get compliments. The shadows, they're just special. They're interesting colors. They're interesting finishes. I really, really enjoy using these. They're a little on the pricey side, I think about like $7, $8 a piece. And they are frequently out of stock and on back order, so you have to wait for them to come back in stock in order to be able to use them. And so that's part of the frustrating process about replacing these if they were to be damaged or destroyed. So for that reason, they also make the list. And conversely, or on the other side of the Z palette, I have my 9 Sugar Drops collection here from Davina, and then I have 5 Terra Moons. Terra Moon Iridescent Chameleons, these are iridescent multi-chrome shades. They are $17 a piece. So I know full well my husband's going to look at that and be like, I'm not replacing that. So we would definitely be getting divorced if he destroyed any of those. This collection together I think was about $75. So again, you know, pretty expensive to replace if we had to replace them, which I hope I never have to do unless I like hit pan. That would be a good positive reason to replace them. But I'm hoping that these would never get like damaged or destroyed, because again, Heartbreak City. Okay, you guys, I am back. I have no idea if my camera has shifted at all since I last stopped filming. Got a call from my bank that my card got compromised, so that's cool. I hope whoever is trying to use my card to get OnlyFans is real bitter that the transaction didn't go through. Alright, so we just have 3 more things to talk about for this particular video. The next one that I want to talk about is from Becca Cosmetics, and it is their highlighter in Parisian Lights. This was a limited edition highlighter, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Oh, there you can kind of see. It has the Eiffel Tower and like some little stars in it. I think this was a collaboration with somebody, but I don't really know who. I didn't care at the time. I just wanted the actual highlighter. It is the highlighter I'm wearing today. I think it looks so pretty. Not only is Becca going out of business now, but this highlighter was limited edition, so I could not get another one if I wanted to. It has the most beautiful like pink to gold champagne kind of duochrome flip to it, and I am a sucker for that color. Like at one point I went through to figure out how many single eyeshadow pans I had of that exact like duochrome kind of flip in my collection, and I had 9 different eyeshadow singles from different brands of basically the same color. Like this is clearly the color that I like. So I would be so heartbroken if this got destroyed or taken or lost, or my husband just threw it on the floor. Yeah, he better hope his Xbox can swim. The next one is this little guy right here, and this is the KVD Vegan Beauty Saint perfume. If you've never smelled this, it smells so good. It's like a fresh floral, like bright kind of scent, and I'm so drawn to it. And when Kat Von D was still running the show over there, I refused to buy it because I was like, this girl does not deserve my coin. But I did end up getting one of those fragrance sampler things from Sephora, and this was one of the things that you could pick out of it. And when I tried everything else, I didn't like anything else nearly as much as I liked this, so I did end up getting it, and I have no regrets. Clearly I still have a ton left, but this is not made anymore. So if this were to be like shattered, destroyed, lost, whatever, I would not be able to get this back again, and I would be so bummed out because I think this fragrance is probably one of my favorites. If you guys would be interested in a video talking about kind of my favorite fragrances, let me know in a comment down below, because I think that's something that would be fun to film, but it's kind of, fragrance videos are kind of a pain to film, so I want to film stuff that you guys are interested in. And then the last thing, which we all knew was coming, is my Cleona collection. Not only is this handmade product, it's hella expensive, like up to $25 per eyeshadow pan. And it's made by 2 women, so it takes forever to get your order when you order it. Both of the orders that I placed, one took about 9 months to get here. The other one, which was done after they had already made the product and you were just ordering it and all they had to do was ship it, still took like 2 months to get to me. So I would be signing divorce papers, I'd be keying your car, I'd be taking the kids, and it would be over if this got destroyed. Like, this is my little baby. And let me show you the shades I have inside. Do you guys just get like as happy looking at this as I do? Because I really like love looking at these shades. Now these two little brown pans over here are actually JD Glow shadows, which we already talked about most of my JD Glow collection, but those are the only 2 multi-chromes that are not in that other collection. But this is all otherwise Cleona, and I would be heartbroken if all of this got destroyed. In addition, my husband would be broke as heck trying to replace all this, because he would definitely be responsible for replacing it. With that said, I think that is everything in my collection that is irreplaceable, limited edition, love of my life. Like, you are never gonna pry it out of my cold dead hands. It's mine, not yours. So those are my picks for that particular meme. If you were to look at your own collection and come up with the things that if your friend, child, dog, significant other decided to destroy or sell or lose, that they would be like the deal breaker pieces for you, let me know in a comment down below what those things are for you, because I'm so curious to see what other people had in mind for this particular tag. If you have your own channel, definitely consider doing this video, because I think it would be so fun to see the video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to catch you in my next video. Bye!